Hannah, first off, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I want to go back to kind of the hiring process and when you ultimately decided that John Andershek was going to be the next head men's basketball coach at Campbell University. What stood out to you about him the most?
Sure. Well, this process that we have created and the system of identifying it and evaluating talent that fits Campbell, we're really kind of looking at about four or five characteristics. First and foremost, fit is extremely important at Campbell. So we wanted somebody that was going to come in and embrace the place. And so that was key from the beginning. One of the other characteristics of this was we wanted somebody that had a proven track record of developing and establishing relationships with players. Another piece was we wanted somebody that had success in recruiting, right? Identifying talent, somebody that could come in and recruit to fit Campbell. And then we wanted a diverse portfolio of experience with this candidate, somebody that had been at a lot of different levels of the game, somebody that could come in and use that to help build the brand and build Campbell basketball. And so the list kind of started. We had about 51 names on a list. And so, my team, which consisted of four people that I work closely with and I trust, they kind of worked around the clock and they vetted this list and narrowed it down. And so ended up getting that list down to about four people. And at every step of this process, John continued to stand out, continued to separate himself. And so, felt really, really confident in the process and kind of where we landed. And so that's kind of the background and a high level of the process.
Certainly a unique situation. You announced John as the head coach at Campbell. A couple days later, he's here in
Yeah.
North Carolina, just with a different team. But I know some of the staff members at Campbell got to meet him then. How nice was it just to kind of have that familiarity, knowing that he wouldn't be on campus for still a couple more weeks because of this run he's making with Florida?
Yeah, it was incredible, just kind of the way that it worked out. I actually tell you a quick story about that. So when I knew, we had narrowed it down and John was the guy, I actually called Todd Golden and we had a nice conversation about John. And so he actually was tremendous through the process, extremely supportive and had an idea of I think they landed in Raleigh on Wednesday. They were going to go out to a team dinner, and so we had coordinated where myself and a staff member of mine we went to the hotel, and they put us up in a conference room. It was kind of a boardroom, kind of on one of the stories there, and after dinner, Todd and another one of his assistants brought John up as a surprise. So he walks in this room, and there I am with my deputy AD, Justin Wilkins, and surprised him and offered it to him on the spot. He accepted it on the spot, so that was really cool to be able to do that in person. And it was just an exciting time.
Had to be such a unique experience for you as well. I mean, the excitement on his end, but for you to kind of be able to offer in person, I imagine that doesn't happen too often.
Probably not. And that was one of the things that we were kind of working out and trying to figure out logistics of how we make that happen. But for us, that personal touch that just was really special, I think, for both of us to be able to do.
I got the chance to catch up with Coach Andershek when he was here in Raleigh for that first and second round with Florida. And I was just exhausted listening to him talk about balancing both
Yeah.
jobs, the Campbell job and giving his all to Florida right now as well. From your perspective, what's it been like to kind of watch him do this balancing act and really do both?
Yeah. He is his work ethic is one like I haven't seen in a while. I mean, it's elite. I don't know if the man is sleeping right now, but he is figuring out a way to do it all. And so that was another piece of kind of what stood out about him to me is just his ability and his ability to kind of to do a lot. And so for him, it has been balancing, and he has done a tremendous job at a high level to continue to do his part at Florida, but also get some things rolling with our program.
I am curious. I know that you are a busy woman. You have spring sports in, full swing, pun certainly intended there. But how tuned in are you right now with Gators basketball and kind of what Coach Andershek is got going on?
Well, I have started watching a lot of a lot of their games. I actually had an opportunity to go support him when they were in Raleigh for both the first and second round of the tournament, and that was really great to kind of spend that time with him and his parents that were there. Got to meet and spend some time with them, and so it was pretty special.
From a Campbell perspective, I mean, just how cool is it? How great is it to know that the coach that you have hiring, he's got one final stop and he's at the Final Four, and then he's making his way to Bowie's Creek?
Yeah, it is. It is awesome. I mean, when we knew we were going in this direction, it wasn't really a question in my mind of if he was going to finish out at Florida or not. Loyalty and finishing kind of what you started is really important to me, and that commitment that he had to those guys and to that program was big. And so we have supported him through that. But again, like I had mentioned, he's got a work ethic that I haven't seen in a while, and so he's managing both and doing those things. But for us, the opportunity to support him, the exposure that Campbell's going to get through this of being able to link, Campbell and someone that's on staff right now, at a Final Four, contending for a national championship is really important. And it's good for us. I think that immediately elevates our profile. I think it helps with recruiting. It has excited our fan base and our community. So there's a lot of energy right now around this program, and he hasn't even been on campus yet.
Awesome, Hannah. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Looking forward to getting Coach Andershek here in North Carolina.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much.